Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu Headlock, dem Pro Wrestling Podcast. Heute wieder mit einem Interview vom WWE 2K20 Event in London. Bei mir, da ist heute Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate, great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
How are you doing so far? You're in the video game now, so I remember seeing you back in time, I think when you were like 17, 18 years, doing the indies, and now you're in a video game. How does that feel?
It's fantastic. I mean, I feel like everyone who gets into wrestling one day dreams of being a WWE superstar, they dream of having an action figure, and they dream of being in the game. And it's a really cool thing to be able to tick off my bucket list.
Yeah. I mean, your career has been taking off as well. I mean, remember you won the first NXT UK Championship tournament back then?
Yeah.
You had an outstanding match with Walter as well. How did you see your last, let's say, 12 months of your career? It's been outstanding.
Well, since the first tournament, it's been
2 years almost, right?
3.5.
3.5 already?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Or is it?
Was it 2.5?
2017. 2.5.
2.5.
Well, yeah. It feels like a long time, because since then it's been so busy. There's been so many ups and downs and peaks and troughs. It's quite hard to keep track of it all, but you just kind of have to, as cliche as it sounds, like, go with the flow and just take everything as it comes and make the most of every opportunity that comes.
Give us your thoughts on your match with Walter at NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff.
I really like getting to wrestle Walter. I feel like mine and his, I feel like me and him blend together really well. Yeah. I feel like if there's something that I'm good at as well, it's doing big man, little man matches and being able to like finally lift a big man. You know, it feels like that's almost like my role now. It's my specialty, is wrestling the bigger guys, and there's no more perfect opponent for me that fits that role than Walter.
Yeah, and it was also a perfect setting, wasn't it? So the crowd was so hot, the story was so well told, also with the debut of Imperium against British Strong Style. How did you see that?
It felt like it all kind of just came together really naturally. It's one of those matches that I put at that level of like milestone matches of my career. Yeah. You know, there was winning the tournament, there was wrestling Pete in Chicago.
Yeah, that was awesome.
There was myself and Trent winning the NXT tag titles, and now this match as well. I put it as one of those like milestone matches that I'm really proud of.
How did you, as a person, change during the last 2.5 years then?
It feels like I've had to do a lot of maturing really fast. So since the tournament, we were kind of just winging it. No one really knew what anything was or what anything was going to become. There was no NXT UK. Nobody really had any idea what was going on. We were just flying backwards and forwards with NXT, just kind of waiting for something to happen. So I guess I just had to mature really fast, and it felt like I was in a race to become a version of me as a performer that I can be really proud of. Mm-hmm. I feel like the match with Walter was almost like I finally felt like I'd become everything that I wanted to be as a performer.
How would you compare the match against Walter with the previous one you had in Wembley, which also had a big setup? You had this big, really prestigious arena there. But I didn't feel that clicked back in it was a great match, but it didn't feel that special as it should have been.
Yeah.
At least from my point of view.
Yeah, I feel like maybe just the story told this time round was so much better. We had the whole prime target thing. Yeah. We were filmed for a few days, which was put together in like a 30-minute documentary. It gave all of the fans a chance to get to know myself and Walter a lot better. And when the fans feel like they know the performer a lot better, they tend to invest a lot more.
True. Yeah.
So it felt like this time round, because the fans knew us more, they were so much more invested.
Yeah. it definitely was an awesome match. You mentioned your NXT title win with Trent Seven as much as Mountain. How did you? Because it was for us as viewers and as fans, it came off as a total surprise.
Yeah.
Obviously, for you probably didn't. But how was that experience for you?
Like I say, it's another one of those milestone matches that I'm really proud of. It felt like it was a real big turning point in my career, like going towards bigger and better things. It's really nice to know that people have enough faith in us as performers to be able to put our names on titles as prestigious as NXT tag team titles.
Yeah, and it was both the matches were awesome. They were very different, but both they were like great matches you had there. I read that people were saying after the match of Walter, so this is the match that will put Tyler Bate on the map for NXT or even for the main roster and put him in the main event eventually. So what do you say about these comments? Because there was really high praise for you and Walter as well.
Yeah, I just like I said earlier, I like to take things as they come, and you know, as much praise as I get, I try not to let things get to my ego.
Yeah.
So all I want to do is keep things fresh and fun and interesting for the fans to watch. That's all I really want from wrestling as a whole. I want to be able to put on the best performances possible in any situation, whether it be the main event or whether it even be an opening comedy match. I want to be able to give my all to the fans, and because I truly believe that when the wrestler fully believes in himself as a performer and gives his all, the fans give their all back.
Absolutely. You mentioned it. You've been a wrestler who can perform and really like the tough matches, the also strong style matches, the force-based matches, if you want to tell it like that, and also in the comedy matches. Where's the difference? Is that just the art of wrestling you're trying to find there for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you kind of put it right. It's the art of wrestling, is being able to adapt to any situation that you're given, whether it is a comedy match or a tag team match, or maybe even some kind of stipulation, whether it's like a ladder match, and being able to make that as unique to you as possible, so that you're not just lost in the shuffle of infinite amount of wrestlers. You know, like we have so many wrestlers these days that it's so hard to stand out, but it's up to us to make every situation as unique to us and memorable as possible.
That's a good point to bring up there, because a lot of fans, they're afraid that WWE is trying to destroy the UK market, and that they're buying away all the talent. And what's your impression of that, and what's your opinion about that?
I just feel like that's something. It's just something that doesn't exist. It's a thing that people have made up and attached to. Maybe it's the independent fans sad because the wrestlers that they once knew personally and could see at the merch table, it feels like it's taken away from them. But it's not taken away at all. If anything, it gives us a much safer environment, I guess, because on the independents, we don't have the best medical staff in the world. If you get injured, that's it. You don't make any money. Whereas in the WWE, you get injured, you have the best medical staff in the world to look after you and make sure that you're fit and healthy before you're able to wrestle again. And in doing so, we're all able to make a weekly salary doing what we love, and that's being able to wrestle for the fans. That, look, we love performing for the fans. Yeah. You know, it's not the WWE taking anything away from them. It's just the WWE putting it in almost like its own section, its own brand. You know, and NXT UK is a brand for the UK independent fans almost. They get to see all of the same faces all of the time that they saw on independent shows. So why now does it make it different when it's under the WWE banner?
That's the question. You're still young of age. Where do you see yourself in 2 years?
In 2 years, I will be 24 years old, still yet to hit the peak, still yet to hit my prime in wrestling. So I don't know. I don't really have any strict plans of where I see myself. I just hope that in 2 years I'm still involved in something that the fans care about and want to see.
Still with the great mustache?
Yeah, still with the greatest mustache. Yeah.
And do you have any final words for your German fans? Because I've seen you wrestle in Germany for so many times, put on great performances. I think last time was last December. I think I've seen you in British Strong Style.
Oh yeah.
And any greetings for the German community?
For the German wrestling fans, I miss you a lot and hope that someday soon I could maybe come back and perform for WXW, or even if there's an NXT UK European tour that comes to Germany. I just want you to all know that I miss you and I hope to come back soon.
Awesome. Tyler Bate, thanks a lot for your time and wish you all the best of luck in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bis zum nächsten Mal.
Headlock, der Pro Wrestling Podcast.